Hi, horse friends. In today's video, we are going to discuss when to give a West Nile shot for your horses.
Yeah. So typically it's in the springtime that we're going to do. So your springtime in your area can vary on the starting point. So working with your vets to get a timeline on that will be helpful.
Yeah.
And then we also want to make sure that we give it, a few weeks before the mosquitoes come out. So we want to give some time for that shot, that vaccination to do its job and get those antibodies in.
Yeah. So remember, when you give your horse a shot, their body goes through an immune response. And when it goes through the immune response, it starts building antibodies towards whatever virus or bacteria it is being vaccinated for. So for me, I like to give 2 to 3 weeks just before the mosquitoes come out. As you can see, we have standing water back here. We flood irrigate in the great state of Nevada, and it is known that we have West Nile in our valley. Our county people go around and they test for it, and it is here. And it is one of those vaccines that I tell all horse owners that they need to give their horses, because the horse doesn't have to go anywhere to get it. It comes to us. It might be 1 year we don't have it on our property, and the next year we do. And we don't know when that is going to happen. It's not worth the risk. The death from West Nile virus for a horse is horrible. I had a client years ago whose horse was the first one to die in our valley from it. And I can tell you, it's not something you want to go through.
It's not with horses, but West Nile, the West Nile shot, you want to give to your horse, give your horse that chance and everything else. For those of you who may not know, if you have a mare and foal with the foal on the side, the foal gets the inoculation through the mom's milk. So keep your mare vaccinated, give her the shot and everything else. And then the following year, after you wean your foal and everything, then your foal will need to be given the West Nile shot at that point.
Yeah, and there are 2 different types of shots. There's an annual shot that we do here once a year, because we really only have mosquitoes part of the year here. And then there's a twice a year where some people do it spring and fall. I feel like that just really depends on where you live and what your
region, your climate.
Yeah, what your vet recommends. So that can vary as well. But I do believe that in most places in the United States now, most people do the once a year in the spring, and they go for an annual coverage. Remember that the vaccine is always the most effective basically within the first few months of being given. So that's why we don't give it in the fall and expect to have it work in the spring. We want to have it pretty fresh in the horse's immune system. The horse's immune systems, it is believed, does not have the best memory when it comes to vaccinations and, immunity. So awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Yep. And feel free to comment below and let us know your experiences with the West Nile shot.